Ericka Lee, and I am hanging out with you with Juno's Open House. Now, you probably have noticed this beautiful studio that I am sitting in. It's fairly new here to Juno. I am hanging out at Juno Live Studio, and it's located at the Resurrection Lutheran Church right up on 10th Street. So if ever you want to come in and do a program, you can come in and do it, or if you want to be a live audience member, step on in or go to the website you can come and be an audience member to my live show. Again, I'm Ericka Lee, and this is Juno's Open House. So every week, I am going to be hanging out with you, and I'm going to answer all of your real estate questions, from how to get a mortgage, what should I expect with an inspection, or how in the world am I going to find my dream house in this market? I will be here for you to answer all of those questions. Well, today, I do have a special guest. She's a good friend of mine. You've seen her all around town doing all kinds of things like singing, feeding the homeless. She is a realtor, but the reason I have her here today is because she is also a mortgage lender. She is, I think it's okay for me to say, the owner of Scorpion Equity. I would like to introduce Miss Jocelyn Miles. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, Ericka. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and thank you for staying 6 feet apart, so we can make sure that we're doing all the things to keep ourselves healthy.
Exactly.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I already said a lot, but you know, do you like to call yourself the owner of Scorpion Equity?
I am the owner, the CEO, the maintenance person.
Okay. Do a whole lot of everything,
yes,
right?
I do a lot of everything.
There from morning to close.
Yes, exactly. Also, I have a trifecta, actually. Okay. I hold a real estate license with Southeast Alaska Real Estate. I hold an insurance license with Shattuck and Grumman Insurance.
Yes.
And I am the broker owner of Scorpion Equity LLC.
So if ever you thought that, you were busy or you were doing a lot, check this chick out, okay? Because I aspire to do everything that she does to do. My goodness. How do you get it all done?
It is a challenge with the 15-year-old. So
with the 15-year-old.
Yes, it's a challenge.
Yeah, and just a 15-year-old alone will
He's a challenge.
Okay. So, Jocelyn, you know how the climate is with real estate right now and how difficult it is as a buyer to get a home, right? So one thing that is really good to do, you don't have to do it as a buyer, but something that helps you in the odds of getting a home when you put in an offer is that you are pre-approved. Again, you don't have to be pre-approved to go see a house. You don't have to be pre-approved to put in an offer. But it's quite helpful to do it, right?
It actually makes your offer stand out from others.
Right.
So being pre-approved is going to first let you know what you can afford instead of going out there and just looking at every single house in the market.
And oh my gosh, as a realtor, it's the worst when I show you a $500,000 house that you fall in love with that you can't afford.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
We don't want to break those hearts. We
okay.
don't. So
I can't put them back together.
No. So yeah, it's the good thing about doing that is to know where you stand. You know what you're looking at for a monthly premium. You know what you need to bring to the table. Your lender knows what we need to work on because everybody's credit is not A1 perfect. Everybody doesn't have a 740 credit score.
Okay.
There are sometimes there are things that we need to work on.
So and that's something that I wanted to talk to you about. I even me personally, what do you do if you have a low credit score? Is there any hope?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
First of all, FHA you can get an FHA loan with a 580 credit score.
And that's fantastic. And tell us, what is the down payment required for FHA?
FHA requires a 3.5% down payment. There's also programs, USDA, which is a zero down program.
Amazing. USDA is amazing. And it's special to Juno as well.
It's not special just to Juno.
Okay.
USDA finances in rural areas, and people would not think that Juno is a rural area.
Right.
So,
but the rest of America calls us rules.
Yeah. So, but there are a lot of different programs. It can be VA, there's conventional programs, USDA, Alaska Housing and Finance has programs.
So just to slow down, because there are a lot of people who are watching this don't know the difference between the different programs. So like, one thing that's great or something that differentiates them is how much the down payment is, right?
There's so many different programs within the program.
Mm-hmm.
Conventional is normally thought to be a 5% down program. There's Home Ready, there's Home Possible as a conventional product, and you can actually have 3.5% down for a conventional loan as well. There's many different things.
You're schooling us.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think is the loan that I think is really special, there are two, the USDA loan as well as the Veterans loan.
Yes.
Because both of those are
zero down.
Mm-hmm. But the misconception about these loans is that you don't have to have any cash to come to closing, right? So can we clarify that?
Yes, we can clarify that.
Yeah.
So you do need to, for the lack of a better term, have some skin in the game when you go to buy a house. You may get a zero down program, but you still have to pay for closing. Closing consists of your prepaid, which would be your appraisal. You have to pay the closing fees would be your title work. The transfer taxes, your prepaid, which would be your you have to pay your insurance up front. You have to pay reserves. And let me rephrase.
Okay.
You do not have to pay. There are options. You can choose to not have an escrow account. So that will lessen what you have to bring to the table. So if you want to pay your insurance on your own or pay your taxes on your own, that does not have to be included in your mortgage payment.
Well, how much does that cost? I mean, do you have to
There's
pay
not
more
a fee to do that. You can just opt out of it. But you're responsible for paying your insurance every year and your taxes when they're due in September.
No, that's not for me. Consolidate all my payments. I can't get them done. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's quite a bit. So I do have, there's been a big boom, okay? And one of the reasons there's been a huge boom for buying a home is because the interest rates have been so low. I mean, we thought when COVID happened, at least when COVID happened, I was bracing myself because I didn't think that there was going to be any business out there. And for a moment, there wasn't. Our entire city shut down. We couldn't even do showings. We couldn't do open houses, which we still technically can't do. But we exploded because the mortgage rates were so low. So my question is, what is your comment on that?
Well, I mean, mortgage rates went to, you could get, when COVID happened, like at the beginning of COVID, you could get a mortgage rate 1.875. And
that's crazy.
Yes.
How long was it that low?
It was that low for a good while.
Really?
And the rates are going up.
Yeah.
But they haven't crossed the threshold of back up to 5%, 6%, 4%. The rate on Friday, I believe, was 2.6.
2.6. I mean, it's still fantastic. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you can get below 3%, you're balling.
Well, and keep in mind that your interest rate really depends on your credit. So, when we say the rate is 2.6, that doesn't mean everyone's going to get a 2.6 interest rate.
Okay.
There are stipulations. It's based on your credit. And, you can buy your rate down, and your lender will talk with you about that. So you just can't assume, the rate is 2.8 today, so I'm going to get a 2.8. You actually might get a 3% interest rate. It might be better in your best interest to take a 3% interest rate.
Oh, okay.
Because there are some, if you take a higher rate, there are some credits that you might get.
Oh, like what?
You could get like $2,000 credit if you take a higher interest rate.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So that means you're bringing less to the table.
I see. So it helps you if you have less cash to close. It might help to take.
It might help to take a higher interest rate. But your lender is always going to work to get you the lowest rate possible, the rate that works best for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot to lending, and we don't want to discourage people from, it's. I would never say that, the rate's going to go up, it's going to jump. No. Rates change every day. They even change during the day.
Which is too much. But who's keeping up with that?
We are keeping up with that.
Thank you.
I'm keeping up with that. Yes.
So, I mean, that leads into my next question. So, do you recommend that people get rate locks? Or lock rate? What is it? Rate lock.
So when you go to get an estimate for your loan, your lender is going to give you a rate. That is the rate for today. That rate could change tomorrow, as I said. If you go in and you are shopping for a house, I'm giving you what the rate is today. This is my estimate. When you go and get a contract on a property, I recommend that you think about it. Because the rate could go up, the rate could go down. I mean, I've had rates, I've had clients where they had to think about it, they had to talk with their husband wasn't available. The rate was, let's say the rate was $299.
Okay.
And the next day when I went in to look to go lock it, it went down to $289.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So sometimes the rate will go down. It can go down, but it most likely will go up.
Okay, so but what happens? Let's say I have, my rate is locked in for 30 days or 60 days, whatever. And let's say that there's a big dip. Can I opt out of my locked rate and grab that lower rate?
You can relock.
Okay.
You can relock. There's a penalty fee.
Oh.
Everything's a penalty. No, everything's not a penalty. But no, there is a fee.
Ways of the world.
The bank does charge you a fee to relock at the current rate.
Okay.
So if your rate if your rate has gone down, so there is a fee.
And what is the cost of
It just depends.
Okay. It's a lot of variables involved.
Yeah, it's a lot of variables.
Okay, so Miss Jocelyn Miles, extraordinaire. Let's say I'm out house shopping and, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting pretty serious. What do I need to bring to the table to be pre-qualified? How do I prepare myself to get ready to buy a house?
You should talk with your lender, and your lender is going to give you the twos. I talk to my people. I say, I'm going to give you the twos. I'm going to ask for a 2, 2, 2.
I just want to say that's all I think. I have kids, so all I think of are the terrible twos.
Not the terrible twos, no.
It scares me a little bit, but okay.
But you should be prepared to give your lender 2 years taxes.
Okay.
2 W-2s.
Okay.
2 pay stubs, your most recent pay stubs.
Okay.
And 2 months of bank statements.
Okay.
Any income that you want counted, you should be prepared to document that income because we have to document it.
Okay.
I have to see where it's coming from. I have to see it in your account.
Okay. So.
And that, I can't dictate to you what income you want to use. But you have to tell me, I want to use this income, I want to use that income. So you have to bring me the documentation.
I had a client one time. By the way, I forgot to mention that I am a realtor. I'm a realtor at Southeast Alaska Real Estate. But I had a client one time who was not using you as the lender. And she said she needed a ridiculous amount of documentation for every dollar that went into her account. She was like, I might as well just give them my firstborn child. It was like, it was something ridiculous. Like there was like $12 that had been deposited into her account, and they needed to know where it came from. Do you need to be that detailed?
It really depends on the situation, honestly. It really depends.
Okay.
If you have a self-employed person, I do need to see where this money is coming from.
Okay.
And you need 2 years. You need to have 2 years of employment. History. So.
And let's say that especially with what's happening with what's happening in the world right now, some people have lost their jobs, or they maybe worked somewhere for 10 years and got laid off, and perhaps they are coming back to a job pretty soon. Is there hope for people in those kind of situations?
There is hope.
There is, okay.
Yeah, there is hope. I mean, if you've been on unemployment, it just, again, it all has to be documented.
Okay.
It all has to be done. You know what? I'll tell you about my personal self.
Okay.
When I went to buy a house, I have child support. I have a subsidy for my son because my munchkin is adopted.
Okay.
Okay. So I had to document that income. I had to document that income would last for another 3 years. Okay. So, and that's what people don't understand. When we go to qualify you for a mortgage, I need to know that you're going to be, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
But I need to document that this is, probably going to last you for another 3 years.
Okay.
You're probably going to get employed. I mean, and that's one of the questions on the verifications of employment. Are they going to be employed?
Tomorrow.
Because people don't know this. We call your employer the day you go to closing.
Please note that. Please note that. I have had terrible situations happen where people have quit their job or did something crazy. They're like, well, we thought we were close. No, you guys check on the day of recording.
On the day you go to closing, we call your employer to make sure you're still employed.
Okay, but closing, that's not the day that you sign though.
That's
okay, just to clarify, you sign your papers, you go to the title company and you sign your papers. The day after that is officially closing, and that's when they record with the city that this is your home. And you call on
No, not the day recorded. We call on the day you go to closing.
So the day that you sign?
The day you sign, we call.
Oh, okay. All right. Just don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job until the day after recording.
Oh my gosh.
Don't quote me on that. Well, Miss Jocelyn Miles, we've had a fantastic time. So you are tell us where you are, your location, how we can get in contact with you.
Okay. Scorpion Equity is located at 8585 O'Dairy Road in the building the Canton House is. I'm on the second level, Suite 208. You can always call me at 907-302-4049.
Okay.
You can apply online at ScorpionEquityLLC.com.
Okay. Don't get it twisted. ScorpionEquityLLC.com.
LLC.com. And I'm here to help people get a mortgage, to refinance. We do VA loans, conventional, USDA, FHA. You can refinance your house. Come out of a 30-year mortgage to a 15-year mortgage, and you could probably maybe pay about the same thing that you were paying, just a tad more.
Okay.
And be in a 15-year mortgage.
So, okay, hold on. I know I was
I brought more things to the table.
No, because I did want to talk about this because it's huge. This is what a lot of people are doing right now. How do you feel about refinancing right now?
I think if you are in a 5% interest rate, refinance. And don't refinance. My goal, well, first of all, I'm not going to refinance you if you're like, at a 3.8 and you want to go to a 3.2. Because it's really, I strongly feel if you're not going to drop a whole point, don't do it. And that's just my personal opinion. You can do what you like. But that's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I've just refinanced somebody who was at a 6% interest rate, and I got them. They went down to maybe a 2.32.
Oh my gosh.
And a 15-year. They came out of a 30-year and went into a 15-year.
And what was the difference in their payment?
$300.
Okay. That's amazing. And you're going to finish paying 15 years earlier.
Right. I think they had, let's see. I think they had maybe 26 years left on their mortgage, and they went to a 15-year.
My goodness, that's a long road with that interest rate. So I'm sure they love you.
Yeah, I mean, I love doing this. I love trying to get people into a house. I love helping people get a lower rate. Run out of time.
Oh,
I'm just talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's about time for us to go. But what I will tell you is that I work with Jocelyn Miles, helping my clients to get the financing and all that kind of stuff. And you may not want me to tell this because maybe not everybody gets this kind of service, but I mean, I could call her on the weekend and be like, Jocelyn, I need this right now. And she will say, give me a second. And she will bust it out for me. So it's really nice to have a lender who will have your back at any moment during the process and who answers their phone. This isn't like Bank of America where I shouldn't have said that. But you know what I'm saying. So anyways, on that note, we're going to go ahead and close up. But before we do, every episode I would like to share a listing. And so this extraordinary woman also has a listing that she's going to share with us. So could you go ahead and tell us about that listing?
Okay, so we have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in the flats.
In the flats?
In the flats. 706 West 10th Street.
Okay.
Right next door to this building.
Okay.
So it's 1,080 square feet, and it is on the market today. The asking price is $399.
Yeah.
0.9, $399.9.
Oh, okay. Don't forget that.
Don't forget that 9.
Okay. I don't want to mess that up. Now, you know, the thing that I love, or I think is a great opportunity, is that there's an unfinished basement. So you hear 1,080 square feet, but there's an unfinished basement that you can,
Yes.
you know.
You could put some more.
You can make
finishings down there.
Yeah, you just make it pretty. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining in to Juno's Open House. I'm Ericka Lee. That was Miss Jocelyn Miles, and we'll see you next week.